As we are now in the peak of the hurricane season, I would like to start today's briefing by encouraging the general public to remain vigilant and prepared should we be faced with an impending storm. During the months of July and August, the annual pre-hurricane cleanup was conducted within all districts. If there is any additional debris still on your property, it is your responsibility to make arrangements for it to be taken to the landfill. In the event of approaching weather, the ministry will carry out an additional cleanup 6 to 12 hours before the storm. But this is only for household garbage, as the ministry does not have the capacity to pick up yard debris during these times. Do not wait until the last minute to clear your property of debris. Also, all contractors should make all necessary arrangements to secure their work sites. The smallest piece of wood or unsecured tool can become a dangerous projectile. Moving on, in early August, bids were received for the ministry's maintenance of stormwater drainage channels for 2018 to 2021. The scope of which includes the cleaning and maintenance of all trenches and keeping them clear of obstructions. The final advice is now being prepared for my approval, and in the coming days, the contracts will be awarded. That information will, of course, be made public when appropriate. Also ongoing is the tender for the security services at the landfill and Vrommy Yard for 2018. On August 30th, an information session was held for potential bidders, and it was well attended. As a reminder, this bid closes on September 13th at 10 a.m. And as we are on the topic of the landfill, I would like to use this opportunity to inform that both landfills will continue to close at 6 p.m. daily for the foreseeable future. During the past weeks, the ministry has removed a large portion of sargassum seaweed from both the Oyster Pond and Point Blanche Beach. As expected, the seaweed has already started to redeposit in these areas, as we knew this will be an ongoing battle. We will continue to monitor these locations and return when necessary. The Guanabay Beach and the seaweed at that location requires special attention. Careful consideration needs to be taken in this area, as it is also a protected site due to nesting turtles. We will clear this beach in close coordination with the Nature Foundation. And for clarification, all seaweed is being buried on the beaches. It cannot be taken to the landfill because of its flammability. Now, as customary, I will end my briefing with some updates on our garbage problem. This week, I would like to remind or maybe inform those unaware that all commercial entities are responsible for the disposing of their garbage. It is against the law to dispose of this garbage in the bins that are solely for residential garbage. Businesses usually pay a third-party garbage hauler a fee to collect their business's trash. What has been happening lately, however, is that some of these dishonest persons, third-party haulers, and sometimes business owners themselves, will then turn around and dump the commercial trash into the residential bins, which often adds to the over-accumulation of trash at our bins. This is an unacceptable practice, and I call on the community to help us in being vigilant to ensure that this behavior is stopped. Report to us any instances that are witnessed, and if you can, please take a picture. We warn businesses and haulers that if caught, hefty fines will be issued. In addition, in keeping with my promise to hold garbage haulers accountable to the terms of their contracts, I have ordered the immediate termination of the contract of Roberto and Sons, responsible for the cul-de-sac basin, Cahill, Fort Willem, Bel Air, and surrounding areas due to poor work. This comes after a number of warnings had been issued to the company. The contracts will be reissued to the second highest bidders, and they will now be responsible for garbage pickup in those areas. For clarification, Parcel 5 should now be awarded to Leonard Enterprises and Parcel 6 to Meadowlands. We all have a part to play, and it is only right that I stand here weekly and ask residents to take responsibility, and as I ask the business owners to take responsibility, I also hold the garbage haulers to their responsibility as well. I and the ministry will continue to keep this issue at the forefront.
Tell them, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGE.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Jose Helga and I play basketball. I have organized basketball events in St. Martin. Sport matters to me because it makes everybody come together in unity. So I challenge the businesses community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facility. I'm also asking the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take on the challenge and step up for sport because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page for more information. Hashtag Sport Matter, hashtag Are You In?
First of all, the registration got off to a start on Friday. Walk us through as to how things went, if you may, Doctor.
Okay, so on Thursday evening, we had registrar assistants arrive from the University of Curaçao to St. Martin. And the registration process is hosted here at University of St. Martin. On Friday, over 15 people came to register or to inform on how they could register. In total, there were 9 people who registered completely. And the registers, as indicated in press release that was sent earlier this week, noticed that there were many people who are interested, many people who intend to register but didn't have their papers in order, or they could not take time off from work in order to register. So immediately it was suggested that we open 2 additional days for registration, which will be held this coming Thursday and Friday here at USM from 10 to 2, from 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, and then from 4 in the afternoon to 6 evening.
What kind of an interest do you anticipate will be there for this program in particular?
I think that the interest that will be expressed or has been expressed for the last week is the same interest that has been expressed for the last 2 years since initial reports and research was conducted on the market value of such a program here on Curaçao. Sorry, here in St. Martin, yeah.
Of course. During the press conference of USM and the Minister of ECYS and the University of Curacao, it was announced that some 25 persons have shown interest. How likely is that the university surpassing or bypassing this figure in that you have a lot more registrants?
I'm not sure if we'll have a lot more registrants than expected, but we're looking at that ballpark figure, between 20 and 25 people that will complete registration by the end of this week.
The information as has been provided, do I take it that USM will actually have some sort of a registration drive at the secondary schools overall to at least engage the interest of our students?
We will, USM had since Hurricane Irma has had limited time and resources dedicated to marketing. This has to do with all the troubles that we had last year. This had to do with investing our human resources in specific tasks. And we plan, since the beginning of this new semester, to improve our marketing all across the board for all the programs, but also in conjunction with the University of Curaçao. Remember that this is a law program of the University of Curaçao. We also intend on proposing law. Remember that part of this proposal was to have or to establish a pre-law program. That would be USM's own program in order to facilitate the qualified candidates into the law program.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Wib now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact Wib today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Who you're for.
While doing my rounds within the different departments in the Justice Ministry, it has been brought to my attention that there are major problems when it comes to the function book. I've been to about 4 so far, and it continues to come up as the function book. I would like to know, through you, Mr. Chairman, what is the status of these function books within the Justice Ministry? Because according to me, without a function book, there's no official description of the task of the officers and what their roles are within the organization. What is the timeline identified to have all officers within the various departments clearly identified with what their functions are within their respective departments? Like the Commissioner John stated just now, there are about 15 new officers that will be trained soon. On what basis will we be hiring them if we don't have a function book? So those are a few of the questions I have. Also, how can new persons be hired within a ministry and we have, existing issues in terms of payment of people that are already working and so forth, in terms of promotions and increments that they are awaiting? Are monies from the St. Martin budget being paid to the Dutch officers that are coming here to assist, or is this from the trust fund, or how is that working? You know, we're busy now rebuilding St. Martin, and I understand that the construction field is in very high demand also for skilled workers, and we need all the help that we can get. But still I see many young people that are out there fighting unsuccessfully to get jobs in order to make ends meet to take care of their family, especially those that are lost their jobs within the HoReCa industry, the hotel, restaurants, and so forth. With all this construction going on, for instance, I can imagine that a simple helper can assist with passing cement or passing blocks or anything like that. How much requests and how much people are coming in here? How much requests have been granted then for work permits for people to come in? And are we exploring or promoting or kind of making awareness to encourage our local young people that are here right now to enter this field? That was like to know from the Minister of Justice, through you, Mr. Chair. Can Parliament obtain information on how the state of affairs is when it pertains to person obtaining or receiving permits on St. Martin, especially for the rebuilding process, as I just mentioned, a sort of a breakdown? And my colleague kind of touched on it just now, MP Emmanuel, concerning the filing of immigration cards at the airport. Recently, on our return flight to St. Martin, I heard the announcer say that entering St. Martin to fill in the immigration form would not be necessary. And this is a very serious concern of mine. I brought it up before. I want to know, because even me as a citizen of the kingdom, when I go to Aruba, which is also part of the kingdom, I have to fill in a form. So how do we keep track of who is entering, where they're staying, when they're leaving? I would like some clarity on that, please, because I believe it is of utmost importance. Even though the passports are being scanned, it is important to know where they are, if they're staying by family, if they're staying in a hotel, or wherever that may be. Can the minister kindly explain to Parliament how the statistics are being made up without getting these cards filled in and handed over to the Immigration Department with the entry of St. Martin? With that being said, I also have these following points I would like to bring up. It is to my understanding that this hasn't taken place since 2012 with the filling in of the immigration cards. Is this so? If not, can the minister explain when it stopped and when the ministry plans to reenact this operation? And right now, given the fact that we don't have those cards, how do we monitor the entry points within our country? And on what basis would a visitor then be denied access to enter the country? On what basis? And what, if the minister may have statistics or so, how many people have been denied within the past year, so to speak?
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
do with the exact recovery process and the World Bank procedure. One of the areas that's opening up to St. Martin at the moment is through the China Belt Road project. How does the Dutch government see St. Martin fitting into that and into its diplomatic talks, considering our strategic and geopolitical situation in the Caribbean? I mean, it would be good for our shipping, it would be good for our economy that really needs a boost. What is your idea, or what is the thought process of St. Martin fitting into that whole new idea of economic and trading?
Well, in general, I can say that St. Martin is a country in a region where a lot of activities take place. Also, the Chinese are very active, so you have to be aware of all these players in that economic hemisphere. At the same time, you have to ask yourself always, but that's the responsibility of the government of St. Martin, the question, what's in for us, and do the people benefit the long term in working together? That's a question you should always ask when working together. I think so far this is a discussion which has been done in a good way, in a good manner, when we can support with foreign affairs, of course, because part of the kingdom, St. Martin part of the kingdom, foreign affairs being a kingdom, a kingdom responsibility. We will have good connections on that, but I'm not here to say what St. Martin is able to do or not. My only message would be always ask yourself that question, and if the outcome is it's beneficial for everybody to work together with Chinese or I would say other partners, economic partners, then you have to do, because it's all about quality, it's about sustainability, it's about reliable partners, and of course integrity, and all these elements you have to balance and then draw a conclusion.
Thank you, State Secretary. Stephen Cyrilin of PJ82 Radio, you have the floor.
Excellencies, good morning. I have a two-part question, if you allow me. Firstly, we are going to start with the State Secretary. You made mention, interestingly, that things need to be sped up as St. Martin recovers. It's almost a year now. Take into consideration the fact that the World Bank has put such a tedious process for St. Martin in accessing funds. Would you not therefore say that this has been contributing to St. Martin quickly recovering in a manner of understanding? Second question is to the Prime Minister. Overall, how would you go about describing the meeting with the State Secretary?
We answer in the same sequence if you ask the question, so that's I'll start. Well, the World Bank is an organization which has a lot of expertise worldwide in doing these kinds of huge reconstructions. And it's not only about restoring the effects of the hurricane, it's also creating a new future for St. Martin, a better future. And the example of the dump is one of them, because the dump has nothing to do with the hurricane. The hurricane proved that the dump is not sustainable. And if you want to become a top tourist destination, then you need to take care of the environment and get rid of all these poisonous gases. So the World Bank is not a hindrance. The World Bank is a mechanism which has some procedures, of course, but that's because there's a lot of money involved. So we have to be very precise on how we spend the money, and we can only spend it once. So the choices we make together, I would like to emphasize we do it together in the steering committee, are in the interest of the people of Sint Maarten. And sometimes it looks very easy to solve the problem of the dump, but if it would have been very easy, it had been solved already, is my assessment. And it hasn't, so we have to do it. And my first impression was, it's a dump. Get rid of it, solve this problem. Looking into the details, you see that it's much more complex than that. So you need special expertise. And because you only have the chance to do it once in a proper and correct way, it takes some time. But better a good solution at the end than a bad and fast solution. That's not in the interest of the people. So one of the things we have to do, maybe we have to do it better, is explain why some things take so long. That's not blaming the World Bank, because the World Bank is a mechanism you need. If there was no World Bank, you needed something else. And we, nor in the Netherlands, nor in Sint Maarten, there is the capacity and the expertise in such a broad range available to do it ourselves. So we need the World Bank to do it on behalf of us. But it takes two to tango, we said. Maybe if some results have shown we can do it together. I have to rehearse before, but I'll do my best. Well, yeah, you have to have an ambition, isn't it? No, but without joking, this is a very serious issue, and I'm convinced that at the end, if the results are there, we can prove that we did the right things. If I'm not convinced anymore in that, we have to change our plans.